Welcome, and thanks so much for joining us for this week's edition of Just Ask Freeman. I'm Rebecca Powers here with Freeman Owen Jr. Of course, he's the CEO and founder of Financial Sources, Inc. Great to see you, sir.
Hey, good to be here. Let me look in the camera and look at our viewing audience. Are you ready for retirement?
That is the big question, and that's why thousands of families just ask Freeman. We were never taught this in school. We don't know when to retire. It used to be pensions. You've made that very clear. In 1978, they kind of went away with pensions and came up with the 401k experiment, a lot of people call it.
That's
but they
right.
never taught us really how to navigate that. They certainly never taught us how to retire. How do you know when you are ready to retire?
Well, there's going to be financial readiness, but let's look at the emotional readiness.
Okay.
Question is, I ask the clients, what do you want to do during your retirement years and your retirement journey? What makes you happy? Is it going to be a joint venture with you and your spouse in enjoying retirement? All right. Another question is, do you want to work during retirement? Some folks look at their work as not a job, but something they really, really enjoy.
Right.
And what that does too, it extends the time that you could put away more monies, because we talked about life expectancy, which is longer now. I asked the question, are there any activities you wish to build around? Working in the ministries, volunteer work. So you've got to get the mentals, you've got to get ready.
Emotionally ready to walk away from the job.
Emotionally ready.
Or maybe work part-time, you say.
Exactly. But financial readiness falls into place.
That's number two, the most important part.
I can't emphasize enough that individuals who are preparing for retirement, they come in the office. And we have a real friendly office. I've got an assistant, her name is Anna, been with me a little over almost 20 years now, who greets my clients. They come in, they're very relaxed. And now I'm going somewhere with this, Rebecca. Okay, here we go. They sit down, and there's fruit, I offer them water or whatever they wish, and it's really a relaxed environment. No intimidation.
Good.
One of the questions they ask, I ask, are you concerned about outliving your assets? And I find out about the life expectancy of their parents or relatives. Well, my mom and dad lived to age 90. Well, there's a good chance that those genes pass on to you. You're going to need monies in order to have a comfortable retirement, sleep well at night.
Yes.
And with our type of programs, using products that provide guaranteed lifetime income, protect those assets against market risk, credit risk, inflation, and even political risk.
Yeah.
Because there are going to be some changes when it comes to that major source we discuss, Social Security, when it comes to our retirement. So outliving the resources.
That's an American's number one fear.
Exactly. Another is inflation. Well, we know the goods and services are going to increase. That's a given. I remember the time when I was a kid, you could get an American automobile for about $2,000 or $3,000, and our neighbors, they could afford to get an automobile every 2 or 3 years, and it was $2,000 or $3,000. Now you cannot get any type of automobile unless I call it a hoopta, for $2,000 or $3,000. So inflation. Now, something else too, Rebecca. Loss of a spouse.
Right. How does that affect
How does that
your retirement?
impact your retirement? And women live longer than men. Hey guys, are you setting up your spouse to have a comfortable retirement and have assets that are passed on to her so that she is not scuffling and scraping and trying to make ends meet?
Yeah. It's a good point.
Yeah, and ladies have a tendency to marry men older than them. So you have to make sure that you have the right financial vehicles in place for your spouse. You want to know how to do that? Just ask Freeman. Call us at 833-414-7233. And we have a landing page. There's a QR code right there in the left-hand corner. Scan it. Set up your consultation. Set up a legacy for just in case, and talk and discuss this with your spouse. The loss of your spouse could be devastating without finances. I don't mean this in jest when I just say there's no romance without finance, but
it's true.
You know, money touches every facet of your life. Healthcare cost. We see it increasing. Now, for the ladies, the cost of healthcare over the life expectancy is running anywhere between $169,000 up to $190K.
Interesting.
Because you live longer.
Right.
Men, $159,000. We live a shorter period of time. So loss of spouse, when it comes to financial readiness, prepare your spouse with good, solid, one of the best products, Index Universal Life. And I have strategies of which you can take distributions tax-free and have a legacy set up for and tax-free income for your spouse. You want to know how to do that, folks? Just ask Freeman. Call us at 833-414-7233. Call today. 833-414-7233.
And then we're going to take a very short break, and that first appointment, as Freeman mentioned, is absolutely complimentary. They have third-party software. They run all your numbers through. It could be extremely eye-opening, and if you're going down the wrong path, when would you want to know to change? It is never too late. All right, stay with us. More with Just Ask Freeman after this.
The work never seems to end until the day it finally does. After nearly a lifetime on the job, you should be rewarded for all the time you spent working. Whether that's crossing off items on your bucket list, learning a new passion, or rekindling the love of an old one. After all, life isn't over when you stop working. It's the start of an all-new chapter. The one where you're the writer and you get to choose how your story will go. A way to achieve that is by having a clear financial plan to sustain your golden years. The biggest fear most retirees have is if they'll have enough money to maintain the lifestyle they've always enjoyed. Having a plan to help protect you against the curveballs life often throws will help to maintain your lifestyle. Call today to get your free written financial plan so you may live every day to the fullest and enjoy the retirement of your dreams.
Welcome back to Just Ask Freeman. I'm Rebecca Powers here with Freeman Owen Jr., of course, helping thousands of families retire in absolute peace. IUL, you mentioned the Insurance Universal Life. Talk more about that. Why do you have that for yourself and Miss Carolyn?
All right. Well, number one, I looked at the strategy of supplementing tax-qualified plans like IRAs, Roth IRAs, 401ks, TSPs, etc. That's employer-sponsored retirement accounts. Okay. I usually have the clients roll those over to their own individual retirement accounts. Why? Because of restrictions on distribution. IULs, Index Universal Life. The reason I like that is because I've set up programs for my clients. If you'd like to have one, just ask Freeman. Call us at 833-414-7233. With the Index Universal Life, there's a potential to have tax-free distributions from that policy to supplement Social Security and other income-producing assets. Now, I'm going to share this strategy.
Okay, great.
We know that distributions from tax-qualified plans, not everyone knows. Let me back that up, because I've asked folks, are you concerned about the new policies when it comes to distribution of tax-qualified plans to your loved ones that are non-spouses? Well, I never heard that. It's the Secure Act 2.0. Okay. Now, with the Index Universal Life, I wanted to elaborate a little bit on how that works. I want you to picture the distribution from an IRA, your own individual retirement account, and your non-spouse. And so the person who owns this Index Universal Life also may own the IRA, in which you want to pass on what is left. And let's assume that the person who is the beneficiary of this Index Universal Life is under the age of 59 and a half.
Okay.
Audience, I want you to picture this too, and I'll make it very simple. Let's say there's $100,000 left, for brevity's sake, and I want to make it very clear. The IRA, which is $100,000, has been bequeathed to an individual who is not a spouse under the age of 59 and a half. Folks, do you know the tax consequences on that distribution?
What is it? Just ask Freeman.
Well, just ask Freeman. Anywhere between 20% and in their tax bracket, and a 10% penalty because they're under 59 and a half. Again, let's make it simple. 30% out of the 100K, that is a $30,000 tax bite.
Wow.
But folks, I got a solution for that to avoid and minimize that tax is just ask Freeman. Call us at 833-414-7233. Now, let me share with you what happens. We take $30,000 out of the Index Universal Life. The death benefit is tax-free.
Amazing.
So we have, and I made it simple, but it varies depending on the age and gender and health of the applicant for Index Universal Life.
Okay.
So we took $30,000 out of the $100,000 policy. Did we pay any taxes? No. Just ask Freeman. No. You paid no taxes on the $30,000 distribution. That left you $70,000 tax-free. What did you use the $30,000 for? Again, just ask Freeman. Call us at 833-414-7233. You paid Uncle Sam.
Oh, we don't like doing that.
Well, there was a way.
But you have to.
We have to.
But you do it in a smart way.
In a smart way.
Yes.
We got a $100,000 IRA left. We have $70,000 tax-free. So
Nice.
the legacy is $100,000 plus $70,000. So we have freed up, or we've completely removed the tax liability from a legacy that was designed for the non-spouse. And I've got another strategy too. And you want to know what that strategy is? If in case you don't qualify for the insurance, just ask Freeman. Call us at 833-414-7233 and get your consultation. No obligation, no fees, no pressure. You come in, sit down for an hour, and we discuss your concerns, and it's all about you. And clients, you've heard that if you're watching. And what I'm seeing now is more and more of my clients has been with me for years that trust me. Their children who are retiring. Some of them are age 60.
That's amazing.
The parents came to me maybe years old, let's say 35, maybe 40 years ago. And they were in their 40s and 50s. And their children now are retiring, or in some cases, they're getting help in preparing for the retirement in just a few years. So now they know about this strategy on distribution, on how to protect, keyword, protect your nest egg, protect your IRA. So folks, if you got anywhere between 250K, 500,000, $1 million, we don't use all those funds. We take some of those funds that you're comfortable with and set up a very comfortable retirement using various programs and products without a tremendous amount of fees, Market risk, none. Credit risk, none. And when I said political risk, and I mentioned the Secure Act and how to utilize an index universal life, the Secure Act 2.0, what it does is that eligibility ages now, or you start taking a mandatory withdrawal at age 73, okay, and exposed to expand to age 75 in 2025. Prior to 2020, you took what we called, it was referred to as RMD, required minimum distribution, at starting at 70 and a half. So legislation changed such that you can now take your required minimum distribution at 73, but the beneficiaries of our tax qualified plans, I can't reiterate enough, is that our children, grandchildren, all non-spouse, mom, dad, must completely remove every dime of a tax qualified plan, not over the life expectancy, Rebecca, in 10 years.
Wow.
All the way down to zero. Folks, if you want to avoid that costly mistake, just ask Freeman. Hit that QR code there on the left-hand side of the screen and then ring us at 833-414-7233 and set up a consultation. We can help you avoid a terrible mistake when it comes to passing a legacy on to your loved ones, and also making sure that you're aware of the distribution rules, not only for the traditional employer-sponsored retirement account, individual retirement account, but also the Roth IRA, which has to be just like the traditional, just like the other employer-sponsored retirement accounts, those tax-qualified accounts. The Roth IRA has to be completely deleted down to or distributed to zero in the 10th year.
And as you said, it's a very particular way you do it, so don't do something like that by yourself. If you have any questions, any concerns, you want to know about the pathway to your retirement, it is all about you, as Freeman said. There's the number again, 833-414-7233. If you call during this broadcast, you get an appointment and you get to come into the office, and it is, as he said, absolutely free. No obligation and no cost at all. We'll be right back. More with Freeman Owen Jr. and your retirement dreams. Stay with us.
Unexpected events can turn our world upside down overnight. They can cause volatility, shifts in the market, and may cause you to question the confidence in your current retirement plan. As a pre-retiree or retiree, knowing you have a plan that can withstand the worst economic conditions can help you sleep well at night. Contact us today for your complimentary review.
Welcome back. We're talking about your retirement and how to protect your money. We talked a lot about how the biggest question most people have when they come into you, Freeman, is, am I ready to retire? The big boxes have usually said, and that was just kind of the cookie cutter way, this group, this group, this group. But you're an individual, obviously, so he needs to drill down and see what your goals and what your assets are right now and how to protect and preserve. When people say, oh, I was told that I could just take 3 or 4, now it's 4%, out of my savings, out of my retirement, and it should last me. Doesn't that bother you because it's leaving people with a big question mark?
Yeah, speaking of 4%, I'm going to jump on that. That has been the, quote, distribution percentage for decades.
Yeah.
With the 4%, I think it's pretty good, but in the first few years of your retirement and distribution, you got to be careful not to, because in those first 2 to 3 years or so, you're utilizing more of your assets for different expenditures. Maybe you might not have a mortgage, but still, and you might not be driving to work and might not have to deal with dry cleaning and other expenditures.
Right.
But you don't want to spend too much because you could run out of assets, run out of your money. You could outlive your monies.
Right.
But then again, you don't want to spend too little, okay?
It's a good point. Then you didn't enjoy yourself.
Yeah, you didn't get a chance. Like the gentleman, he was sharing with us, he's 92 years old. He just called. He just wanted to share. He says, I've seen your show, but I've got several millions of dollars and I never got a chance. I didn't spend anything. Now I'm too old to enjoy.
Right.
Now, he evidently didn't take a tremendous amount of monies out of his nest egg because he got a few $1 million left at 90 some years old. And now physically, and as you get older, it's difficult to do things.
Yeah.
What you want, excuse me, what you wish to do is, we have the software so that we can pretty well determine how much income is needed, 25 years, 30 years. And as I mentioned, one of the major products, and we've got several of them, but it's not just products, it's the strategies that are applied with these products that aid you to know when to get your Social Security, even how to get the taxes down to zero, how to I mentioned the fact that we can pay the taxes on the distribution from tax qualified plans for our loved ones. Outliving the assets is major, 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 major.
AARP did a study when asked 10,000 Americans, what is your biggest fear? And 9 out of 10 said running out of money in retirement. Money. It was kind of shocking.
Yeah, it's kind of scary too, you know, for those. So to avoid that scare, that fear of running out of money, where Freeman, I can help you. Just ask Freeman. Call us at 833-414-723 and schedule a no obligation complementary consultation. And folks, sit down with me. We're concerned about your interest, how to set a plan so that you avoid outliving your resources. And let me just share one of the first steps that we do. The first thing we ask, one of the questions is, how much debt are you in?
Wow, you're right. We didn't even talk about debt. That's a big one because
that's a big one. Mm-hmm. Eliminating debt before you retire. Eliminate all major debt.
Do you say start with the house because it's your primary, or start with whatever's highest interest?
Yeah, both.
Okay.
If your home is paid off, look at the benefit. Rebecca here, oh, I don't have no write-off, and I'm not going to pay this house off. Yes, you are going to pay the house off. Why? Because you eliminated interest rate, the interest that you pay on that home, okay? You paid the principal off, and what you have left, property taxes, homeowners insurance.
And interest, yeah.
That's right. And you have a significant increase of discretionary income that's not coming out of your pocket or out of your purse. Eliminate debt. Got to do that. All righty? Because what happens if you don't eliminate debt, you may take monies at an inopportune time
right,
and squeeze your asset down such that it does not last as long as you do. Eliminate debt. I said purchase a guaranteed income. Get yourself a fixed index annuity where it provides guaranteed lifetime income. You can also consider the fact that it's a hybrid for critical care.
yes.
Now, Rebecca, do you know what critical care is all about?
I know it's expensive.
Yep. Well, there's long-term care, which is quite expensive, even if there's, I'm gonna use the word, Medicaid spend down, where you spend down all your assets, they're called countable assets by the state. And what happens is that The average stay in that nursing home is 2.9 years and $109,000 per year for a private room.
Yikes.
Well, my clients don't worry about nursing homes because they have critical care as part of their fixed index annuity.
Oh, I didn't realize you could do a rider for that.
Yes. And it provides, when I say, let me define critical care. If you cannot perform 2 activities of the 6 that we take for granted each day, well, viewing audience, some of you woke up, you had your right mind. You did not have Alzheimer's or dementia. You were able to ambulate or to walk. You didn't need support. You could take a bath. There are 6 activities of daily living. And anytime 2 of these activities of daily living and you're unable to perform them, then you need critical care. And part of these fixed index annuities provide a doubling of income for a specified number of years, usually 5 years.
Yeah.
And it also, since long-term care, standalone policies, they are fairly expensive.
Right.
But if you can
Get them earlier.
get them early, get yourself a long-term care policy. But the Index Universal Life has a strategy, has a rider that provides critical care and long-term care per se, and terminal illness, all those different benefits, and there's no cost to the client. The fixed index annuity, the same as far as having critical care. So folks, if you really want to avoid outliving your assets, prepare, eliminate debt, purchase a guaranteed lifetime income. Notice I said purchase. You have to purchase your retirement. And what you do, just ask Freeman. Give us a call for your consultation at 833-414-7233. It seems like the clock on the wall, Rebecca, is winding down. It's
Hyperspeed.
I tell you, I really appreciate the fact that we get together here and we offer the opportunity for our viewing audience to get financial literacy.
Absolutely.
Tune in the next time on Just Ask Freeman TV.
Thanks for joining us, everyone.